All
And then
right.
have like a
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are kicking off week 2 of our February coach training. So tonight, this week's topic is going to be on inviting. But tonight, I want to just kind of talk about who we're inviting. So it's very important. We talked about social media last week and we talked about your mindset, right? And the important part of social media is your consistency and showing up there because for one reason it tells you gives you opportunity to invite people who are liking, commenting, watching your stories, but it also gives you a way to open an invitation up for you to say something like, hey, not sure if you've been paying attention um, to my Facebook, but I'm starting a new group coming up here at the end of the month, and I wanted to know if you'd be interested in hearing more. So you can't really use that line if you're not consistently posting on your social media, right? So knowing who to invite is your first big step. And one of the ways to know that is who you're interacting with on social media, right? And the algorithms with social media, Facebook and Instagram, will show more people your stuff if you're interacting with them as well. So you can't just expect to post and have everybody see it, because if you're not interacting with people, Facebook isn't going to, or Instagram are not going to show your stuff on the news feed. Okay. So you have to be it has to be a two-sided street, right? You also want to know with your social media, like who you're talking to, right? Morgan shared on the National Wake Up Call this week that the importance of who your avatar is and who you are speaking to. I did a team call on this, so you can kind of scroll the YouTube channel. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it might actually be like finding your ideal client or finding your avatar or something along those lines. But the National Wake Up Call was great as well. It's pretty much all the same stuff that I've trained on before, where you don't want to cast such a wide net of who you're talking to, right? You'll take anybody and everybody into your business, right? Like you're not going to say no to somebody, but you want to be very direct on who you're speaking to. You're speaking to you, right? You're speaking to who you were and who you are now, and where you're headed. You're speaking to someone, just like you. Who is that ideal customer? The mom who has an amazing vision in the next 3 to 5 years to travel more with her children, to have more in the savings account so that there's comfort, to have more, um, just more of everything out of life, right? That can be, part of that. You want to talk about like who you're serving. You want to be talking to who you're trying to serve. Who is that person? For me, 11 and a half years ago, it was I was looking for a way to I was looking to lose weight and to earn money. And so I try to talk to me 11 and a half years ago a few times a week on my social media, because and I talk to who I am now, because back then, I didn't love exercise. Like I didn't love working out. I would get bored all the time. I would try an at-home workout, but I wouldn't follow a calendar. I would just pop in whatever VHS that day, some Kathy Ireland, some Denise Austin, and just kind of do whatever. And there was not like a calendar, there was no schedule, there was no community, there was no coach, there was no anything. So I try to share, you know, all of that as well. And now how much people see on my social media, how much I do enjoy working out now and how it's so important for my mental health. And I talk a lot about that. So you want to be relatable to that mom. You want people to be coming into, or whoever that person is for you, you want people to be coming into your inbox saying, oh my gosh, I can so relate to that last post you just said. Like that, I get multiple messages like that a week from people. Even all the mental health stuff I've been sharing right now, my inbox is pretty flooded with people like, thank you for speaking up, thank you for caring, thank you for, nobody in my life thinks anxiety is real, so thank you, like, and just so those people are watching. And I made a post today about it, and in it I kind of planted the seed that exercise and good nutrition are ways that can help you through your mental health struggles. It's not going to be the end all be all and answer everything for you, but it can certainly help. So you want to make sure you're directly speaking to your person. Some questions to kind of ask yourself to figure out who this person is. Where in life is this person? Where are their struggles? What are they watching on TV? What are their fears? What do they do for fun? What are their goals? What do they want to do to take care of themselves? What would be their ideal day? Like, what would they feel like? What would they want to feel like each day, right? Like currently, I constantly talk about the sugar thing, right? Like I've let sugar creep. I did amazing in January, just had a couple little days where I had a cookie or two. It wasn't even anything crazy. Well, this past week, it was like, I don't know what the hell happened, but now tomorrow I have to okay, here we go again, and I have to do that for myself. I have to reset myself and tell myself no sugar, because as soon as I let it creep in, it's, I posted about those donuts today. You better believe I ate one of those donuts. I could only eat half of it. That was a big donut. But I had ice cream yesterday, and so, my stomach's pretty pissed off at me right now. Like I'm uncomfortable, like it hurts. And so, it's always a good reminder to be posting about all that stuff, so that people are like, oh, I hear ya. Like there's so many people that are like, me too, so that's your first step in inviting, even though that's more sharing, but that's part of it. Sharing, building relationships, making connections, and then inviting, which is the actual ask. An invite isn't a relationship building process. An invite is when you're actually asking them, do you want to join my next group? We will talk again this week about examples of what that looks like, but it is literally nothing fancy. It is, hey, was thinking of you. Not sure if you've seen my recent post, but I'm starting a new group. Are you interested in hearing more? Like it's 2 lines, like really 3 sentences, really quick. You want to have a list, okay? If you build this business just waking up each day and being like, who will I invite? You are gonna get frustrated fast. It's gonna take you forever, and you're gonna be like, this business takes up too much of my time. So you have to sit down with a list. Everybody on your Facebook list or your Instagram list, whichever you use primarily. So your choice. Everybody that watches your stories, everybody that's in your phone, everybody that you used to send Christmas cards to. I don't know many people who do that anymore. Maybe your wedding invitation list from a long time ago, right? Like people in your phone, well, maybe some of those people are gone, but you go through your high school yearbook. Who do you currently do business with? Hairdressers, landscapers, vet techs, dental hygienists, like all of those, like who do you currently give your business to. Put them on the list to make sure that you're getting that relationship. You're kind of planting those seeds. Dental hygienist always asks me what I do for a living while she's in my mouth. I'm like, but I make sure after I tell her, right? And then I just add them on Facebook right then and there. I don't, try to, here's my card, or can I have your number? Like, I'm just like, hey, are you on Facebook? And I just add them right then and there. Anytime I meet somebody new, that's my card. I've been doing it for 11 and a half years. That's all. I've had cards. I've had fancy cards. Mark's made me cards. I can't remember the last time I called someone who gave me their business card, right? It's just not something we really do, right? So unless you're like specifically looking, but I'm on Facebook looking, like, who can come plow my driveway? I'm not looking for a business card. I'm on Facebook. So you got to have that list, and then you just go down the list each day, 5 to 10 people, whatever you feel you have time for. And you ask yourself, when you get to that person, do not go, oh, they're not going to be interested, and just cross them off. Just look at them and say, okay, who is this person? When's the last time we had a conversation? If you haven't had a conversation in a while, just go to their feed and just start liking and commenting their stuff. And then that's it. Move on. And just so that they start showing up on your feed and you start showing up on their feed, right? So that's a way to build relationships. A lot of times, if it's somebody that I'm like, oh crap, you know them, they're acquaintances, but you haven't talked to them in like 6 months. You can certainly slide into their messenger and be like, I was just realizing I haven't even like talked to you in like 6 months. Let's do, and that's it. And this doesn't have to have an agenda. People are like, oh, and then when do I invite? Don't go there, because you don't want it to feel like that to the person, and you don't want it to feel like that. Like, it'll come up when it comes up. And a lot of times, if you are consistently posting, by the third or fourth interaction with them, they're going to be like, hey, do you have a group starting? What is that you're doing? I can't tell you the number of times that has happened to me. But I'm very consistent on my social media. I'm every day somebody knows about my workout and what it is. And I don't just say workout done. Like, I post a story, I post a struggle, I post a challenge, or I post a triumph, I post something, like I was doing those push-up plank jack things the other day, and I was really, really proud of my form. And so I was like, wow, like, just so much stronger than I used to be. Or I try to speak to me 11 and a half years ago when I was modifying push-ups, and then I'll say, gosh, I remember when I first started P90X in 2010, I could only do 3 push-ups on my knees, like, and I tell that story because I remember Mark and I both, being athletes in high school and like doing P90X and like feeling so defeated he's like, are you serious? Like, I can't even do a push-up anymore. And then I was like, I can't even push myself back up and I'm on my knees. Like, it just was like, what is happening? And so constantly sharing stories like that, when you post a clip of your workout, or you post a sweaty selfie, or you post an animal attacking you during the workout, or whatever that might look like. It happens way too often over here. So you want to make sure that you're sharing so that inviting is way more natural. It's way more natural. We'll talk a lot about business inviting this week, because I really want everyone to get in the habit of doing that. I actually find business inviting easier than challenge group inviting, because you're asking someone, it's easier when I do a business invite, I pay them a compliment. I'm like, gosh, you're so consistent in our challenge group. You post every single day, and God, your arms look so incredible from, just 2 short months ago. Like, you're amazing. Have you ever thought about what I do as a coach? Or have you ever jumped in on one of our sneak peeks and thought about what I do as a coach. Like, it's, you pay them a compliment, you tell them how amazing they'd be at what you do, and then you ask them if they ever thought about it. It's very simple to do. Or like someone, if they have a really great social media, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I would love to have you on my team because I need you to teach me how to use all those amazing Lightroom presets. Like, those are amazing. Like, have you ever thought about what I do? Like, or I want you on my team, or, like, there's just so many avenues that you can, if it's somebody you really want on the team, you just got to start with a compliment. And then the invite is, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Like, I've over time, a couple invites I've done business wise has been like someone posting about, having to go back to work after maternity leave, and me just kind of sliding in their inbox being like, I know you're super emotional right now. I just saw your post. I just want you to know that I have an opportunity for you if you're open to hearing more. And I've done that many times to moms on maternity leave because pretty much every mom makes that post. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow. I've seen the progression of someone having a baby, and 3 months later, I've seen the post. So those are very easy to do. So we will go into that. We will talk about that this week. We'll get very specific on inviting examples. I'm going to ask you to really step out of your comfort zone this week. I'm going to challenge you to send the invites, not just the connections. You've got to ask. And we're going to talk about what you're inviting to, what's next, what's happening. We have promo codes to use this month. What are you going to be inviting to? What are you going to be asking people to do? We have the body challenge going on. So we have a lot going on that we can be inviting people to. So we will go through that whole process, and we'll talk about what to do next. A lot of people get stuck and hung up on, they did say they want to hear more. Now what? And so we'll go through that whole process on what the next step is. But again, hint, hint, it's a very natural conversation, for someone to say, actually, yeah, I am interested in hearing more. My next question, I was always like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What are some of your health and fitness goals, or what are some of your fitness goals? What would you love to accomplish if we did a 21-day challenge together? Something, to get that conversation going and get them talking, because we want them to know that we care. We don't want to just say, okay, awesome, it's $160 and here's what you get. It's like, what? They're going to run. You want to make sure you're having that conversation. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to tell you more. What would it feel like? And then if they say, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds. Oh my gosh, what would that feel like when you lose 10 pounds? And just get them because then that they're starting to get the emotion out, and they have something to look forward to. And then when you say it's $160 for, when you tell them everything you get, and then you're like, and I have a $20 off promo code. So actually you're going to get it for 140. They're going to be like, send me a cart, because you've taken the time, you've asked them questions. They've started to think about what it would feel like to fit in those jeans again, to just feel better again. And then when the price is like gonna just be like, okay, yeah, what? That's it? That's an amazing deal. So if you didn't take the time to do that, and you just say, well, I have this great deal going on, and you can get all this for only $140 with my promo code, they're gonna be like, okay, cool. Like, it doesn't have anything with it. They're not gonna be as excited, because you didn't really ask them anything about what they want to do. So you didn't offer a solution to what they want, because you didn't even ask. Okay. So that is what we have to look forward to this week ahead. I thank you all for participating in the BOD app. I think that it was a good move. I'm getting way more participation than the Facebook group, so that was getting a little stale. So I think that was a good move. I was able to go live I was able to post pictures. Everything worked technically wise this first week. So I think we're good to go. Let's not lose it this second week, third week, fourth week. Let's stay as excited. I will only do, I was doing 2 posts a day, so I'll probably continue with that. And just Monday through Thursday. And then I give you the weekend to kind of whatever you missed to go back and catch up. So that will be the same format this week as well. And another reason is I take Fridays off. So I will get everything in Monday through Thursday. So yeah, any questions? Anything, how last week went? Any comments?
I just wanted to share an interesting stat that I heard on the radio the other day, and it was an advertisement for a gym, but that 49% of the population gained 29 pounds or more just during the pandemic. 49% of the population. And I'm like, is that on top of the population that's already into the obese and morbidly obese stat? Or is that our normal? I'm like, wow, that is super staggering. And it's like, if you're self-conscious at all, you're not gonna go to the gym to make the correction or amend the situation. These people, they don't want to go to the gym. They're going to need us. Like you said, Nicole, if we put ourselves out there on the social media and show what we're doing and show how we can help them at home with their fitness, and even like Bar Blend, you have 1, 2, and 3 pound weights. You're looking at low cost, not a lot of space, not a lot of equipment. It's doable to get started on a weight loss and pairing up with a good nutrition program, even if they're not into the supplements like the Shakeology or the pre and post workout, the performance stack. They're still like, they need us. They need us. And we need to remember that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm done.
I had someone reach out to me who's gained 60 pounds from COVID. 60 pounds. Said she's embarrassed because she's let herself go.
Wow.
You know, and then she went to a nutrition class that her doctor set her up with through her insurance. And she's like, I hate it. They're trying to tell me that a green bean is a carb. She's like, it's not, it's a vegetable. I'm like, yeah, totally. It's a vegetable. It's not a carb. We're talking corn. That's a little different. But when we're talking green beans, so she's just like super frustrated, you know? So I'm like, well, this is what we can do. And then I told her I'd give her a few days to think about it because she said she had to think about it for a couple of days. So I just messaged her a little bit ago and, you know, like just to see like what we can do for her. Cause I'm like, 60 pounds has got to be miserable. She says she can't keep up with her grandkids. She wants to be able to keep up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm.
And never mind the mental health stress it's put on all of us. I mean,
You think?
yeah, even people who don't have mental health issues now have mental health issues. Like it's just been, it's been crazy. So yeah, there's so much benefit to what we have, and we just gotta make sure we're sharing all of it so that it's gonna be that one post that you make that somebody's gonna be like, okay, now that I can get behind, or okay, now I'm listening. Okay, now like it's the same people who may watch your stuff may hear you post the same thing over and over again, but if you switch it up or say something a little differently, they're gonna hear, or share somebody else's story from the team, they're gonna hear it and be open to it. Awesome. All right, so let's kick off week 2 and get inviting and helping as many people as we can.